Okay, so tonight I'm going to make some chili, and I thought I'd show you the step-by-step process that goes into that. We start out by cooking up the vegetables, and you can see I have some jalapenos, a cubeanel pepper, a bell pepper, and an onion. So I'll go ahead and chop those up and get them sauteing with some butter. Okay, now that all of the peppers and onion are chopped up, we're going to get them in the frying pan to saute them with some butter. The next step is to get your beans and diced tomatoes into the pot and boiling along with some tomato juice. Now, my grandmother's original recipe only called for light red kidney beans, but I like to use 1 can of light red kidney beans and 1 can of mild chili beans, just add a little bit of heat. And I also like to mix it up by adding 1 can of diced tomatoes and 1 can of diced tomatoes with a little bit of flavor like garlic and oregano or something like that. While I have the vegetables sauteing in butter and the pot boiling with the beans and the tomatoes, now I'm going to season the meat. I like to buy ground sirloin because I think it tastes better. I don't like the fat content. I like to have a leaner chili. But first I like to go with the dry spices. I use a little bit of Mrs. Dash, some garlic salt, some garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, and then of course salt and pepper. So I'll go ahead and dry season it first, and then once that's done, the wet seasonings, I like to use a little bit of A1 sauce, a little bit of Frank's Red Hot, and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire, Chestershire, you know what? Heinz stuff. Now I'm going to add the A1, the Red Hot, and the, oh crap, too much A1. Red Hot, get that cayenne pepper taste in there. It really seasoned the heck out of the meat. It might be overkill for some people, but it's always tasted really good. So now you get your hands nice and messy. Don't worry, I wash my hands between every take. Now that the peppers and onions have had a chance to saute in the butter, now what I'm going to do is go ahead and scoop them into the pot. But I like to leave behind a small bit of the pepper onion mixture so that when I'm cooking the meat, I'll actually brown it right on top. So I'll go ahead and leave these in the pot. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add the meat in there. Go ahead and smush it down, spread it around into the onion mixture so it has a chance to brown evenly and also soak up some of that oniony, peppery goodness. The upside to using leaner meat is that you're not going to cook out a lot of the seasoning because it's not going to be quite as much fat that's going to be rendered out of it. The last step before I add it to the rest of the pot is I like to put in McCormick chili seasoning. I also like French's Chili O. Those are my two favorite. So I like to add this in. Sprinkle the powder all around the meat. All right, I also like to add about a half a cup of water just to kind of get this seasoning mixed in real well. Next, I add the hamburger to the pot. All right, this is the pro tip. Ready? Pour that extra tomato juice in here. And you can use it to kind of rinse off the pot and pull all that extra seasoning off the pot back into the pan. Or sorry, out of the pan back into the pot. Now just mix it all around. So the last ingredient is a bit of the old sausage. We add a beef smoked sausage. It doesn't really care what brand you get. Usually I'll get Hillshire Farms, but we shopped at Aldi's, so I ended up with Parkview beef smoked sausage, but I'm sure it'll be just as good. I cut it into little medallions, fry it up in the pan, and add it to the chili. I throw these in the pan, and I could probably throw them right into the chili, but I like to crisp them up a little bit. I think it tastes better when you bite into it and it's got a nice little crispy ring around the outside. Alright, now that the old sausage has had a chance to crisp up, I'm going to go ahead and add it to the chili, mix it in, and we're almost done. Okay, now we're just mixing all the ingredients together, and we'll let this simmer for a while, but I have a few more little secrets I want to add in there. So I found out a while ago that adding like about 2 tablespoons of sugar to your chili sweetens it up quite a bit. I started doing this because I'd made a pot of chili that was super spicy and it was burning everybody's mouths. So I added the sugar to sweeten it up a little bit and it made it a little more palatable. So now you still get the heat, but it's kind of a sweet heat. I like to bring the chili to a nice low boil. And then once it gets there, I'll drop it down and simmer it for a while. And I'll taste it periodically. And I will add chili powder to flavor it if I think it's necessary. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video, and let me know if you decide to make some chili of your own, how it turned out. Also, please hit me up with any questions or comments. I'd be happy to help. Thanks.